Hello students, so I'm back with another video. So this is the second video of our second part of the story Memories of Childhood. We too are human beings. So we are at page number 97. Last stanza we have to take from here. So we have already read that this girl Bama was a very lively girl, and that's why she would stop and watch each and every oddities and or we can say novelties. Means she would enjoy each and every moment, each and everything she would enjoy. Now we come to the last stanza on this page. Gazing at all this, one day I came to my street. So every day it was everyday affair that she would take half an hour to 1 hour to reach home. And one day, while coming back from school to home, she watched something. She saw something. Gazing at all this. So if suppose you get this paragraph, your one question can be, what is this? All this. Gazing. Gazing means looking at, watching, seeing. And all this. What is this? This is the whole page. Means whatever she would watch, sometime monkey, sometime snake charmer with the snake, sometime fruits and tamarind, everything. So you can write all these things. Okay, gazing at all this, one day I came to my street, my bag slung over my shoulder. At the opposite corner, though, a threshing floor had been set up, and the landlord watched the proceedings, seated on a piece of sacking spread over a stone ledge. So what she saw, maybe because she was actually, this was a village only, and she was maybe coming from the side of the farms. And here what she watched, that the landlord was sitting, okay, on a stone, on a, we can say, heightened place, and watching the laborers working in the field. And it was a threshing time, means the crop was cut and the grains are to be separated. Okay, so this work was going on. Our people were hard at work. Our people means she watched and she saw that those laborers, they were all Dalits. Okay, maybe at that time she did not know that we are called Dalits and there is a special meaning of this, but she knew it, or she could see that these people were from her society only. So our people were hard at work, driving cattle in pairs, round and round. This is a common sight of any field. So round and round to tread out the grain from the straw. The animals were muzzled so that they would not help themselves to the straw. So naturally, this is also a common sight. You might have seen animals with the muzzles so that they do not eat anything. I stood for a while there watching the fun. So like always, she stood there to see how these kettles are working or how these kettles are walking and these people are working. So it was a fun for her and she stood there. And then only certain things she watched which she was not expecting. So what was that? Just then, an elder of her street came along from the direction of the bazaar. And then only she noticed that somebody, again this somebody, this man was also from her community only, she could recognize. So this man, this elderly man, he was coming from bazaar. The manner in which he was walking along made me want to double up. And double up here means to laugh. When she saw this man coming from bazaar, the way he was walking, it was very odd way that he was walking. And she said, I really wanted to laugh at that person or laugh at the manner, okay, he was walking. I wanted to shriek with laughter at the sight of such a big man carrying a small packet in that fashion. In that fashion means in that style. Means it was a particular style that the man was walking. The picture shows it. Okay, and she was, that's why she wanted to laugh that how come that this man doesn't know how to carry this small bag. This is not a heavy bag. Even then he was walking in very peculiar manner. So I guessed there was something like vadai or green banana bhaji in the packet because the wrapping paper was stained with oil. So she could see that it was some eatables. Okay, it's kind of pakoras or bhaji or something because there was oil, okay, on the upper layer of that packet. He came along holding out the packet by its string without touching it. And this is what she noticed, that this man was actually holding the packet by its strings only. And he was, maybe it was clear that he was trying to not to touch that packet. I stood there thinking to myself, if he holds it like that, won't the packet come on undone and the varais fall out? Now, the way he was carrying this, she said, I started thinking that why he's carrying the packet like this, because this way the chances are more that the packet may fall down and whatever eatable is there, it will actually come out of the packet. But still, he was holding it like that and he was walking. The elder went straight up to the landlord, and then she watched, then she saw that this man, he straight away went to the landlord, bowed low and extended the packet towards him. And then he gave this packet to that landlord, cupping the hand that held the string with his other hand. And very respectfully he gave the packet, and still he was not touching it. The landlord opened the parcel and began to eat the vadais. And then only she even noticed that the man started eating that vadais also. After I had watched all this, at last I went home. So after watching this, then she went home. My elder brother was there. I told him the story in all its comic detail. And because brother was there, so she could not control this, and she wanted to express this feeling of laughter and all this. So that's why she said, I told the whole story, whatever I had seen, to my elder brother. I fell about with laughter at the memory of a big man and an elder at that, making such a game out of carrying the parcel. And she said, when I was narrating this incident, at that time also I was laughing, because he was such an elderly man and he knew how to hold a packet. Still, he was holding it in very awkward manner. But Anand was not amused. Anand means that elder brother. She told the whole story, she narrated, but then she noticed that brother was not laughing. Anand told me the man wasn't being funny when he carried the package like that. And then only she said, my brother told me that it was not a fun. Okay, it's not that he was holding this for fun only, the way he was holding. No. He said everybody believed that they were upper caste and therefore must not touch us. And at that time only, this brother only told Bama that we actually belong to Dalits. We are low caste and all these are upper caste, and these upper caste people believe that they should not touch us, or they should not touch the things which we touch. If they did, they would be polluted. And then only Bama that day only maybe got to know that all these upper caste people feel that these Dalits can pollute the things, and that's why they don't want that Dalits should touch their things. That's why he had to carry the package by its string. When I heard this, I didn't want to laugh anymore, and I felt terribly sad. How could they believe that it was disgusting if one of us held that package in his hands, even though the vadais had been wrapped first in a banana leaf and then parceled in paper? And she said, naturally, I was terribly sad. I had never expected this thing. And she said, I was thinking that how can this happen? That they think that whatever we touch, it can be polluted, then it will become polluted. Why? Because, and moreover, especially for this Bhaji, she was thinking that it was wrapped first of all in banana leaf and then it was put in that parcel. And if we touch the parcel, how can we pollute that eatables? I felt so provoked and angry that I wanted to touch those wretched vadais myself straight away. She said at that time I really wanted to just go and run and then touch all those eatables and then to show those people, just see, is it that these things are polluted? She said I was so angry, I was so provoked. Though I was very young in age, but still I felt like that. I wondered, such an important elder of ours goes meekly to the shops to fetch snacks and hands them over reverently. And then she was thinking that they have no respect for us. We are Dalits, it's okay, but they should respect because this man was elderly man. So because of the age, because of that elderly man only, maybe they should have shown respect. But how these people from our community, they go and then bow, and then this is how meekly they go, means they are always having fear, they are always timid. Okay, they are always afraid that they should not maybe make them angry at them. So, and this fellow who just sits there and stuffs them into his mouth, the thought of it infuriated me, means angered me. She said, I was thinking that how can this happen? That they have no respect for our community people. Okay, though the person was so elderly, but even then, no respect. How was it that these fellows thought so much of themselves? And she was thinking that how can they think that we are born in other caste, so that's why we are upper caste people and that's why we are superior? How can they think this? Because they had scrapped 4 coins together. So scrapped 4 coins together means if they have some money in their pockets, just because of that only they feel that they are upper caste and they are superiors. Did that mean they must lose all human feelings? But we too are human beings. So this is the title from of this chapter also. She said, I was thinking that we too are human beings, and how can they treat us okay like that? Our people should never run these petty errands for these fellows. Petty errands means small jobs, okay, which are not even noticed. So she was thinking that why do we then do all these small jobs? Because we are not paid for that. So we should not also do this. We should work in their fields, take home our wages and leave it to that. And she was thinking that we should also, behave like this only. Why we are doing all the jobs for them, whether we are paid for that or not? Because this elderly man, he is going to the market, walking to that distant area and then coming back. So why we are doing it? Then we should be also very practical, doing the work in the fields, getting the wages, and that's all. My elder brother, who was studying at a university, had come home for the holidays. He would often go to the library in our neighboring village, in order to borrow books. He was on his way home one day, walking along the banks of the irrigation tank. One of the landlord's men came up behind him. He thought my Anand looked unfamiliar, and so he asked, Who are you, Appa? What's your name? Anand told him his name. Immediately the other man asked, Thambi, on which street do you live? Actually, in those days, when this Bama is talking about that period when this caste system was very much prevalent in society, and all these Dalits and low caste people, they were always given the places out of not in the cities, rather on the outskirts of city. Means they were not allowed to mix up with other people, so they were always given homes on the boundaries. So from there only you get to know, okay, if their house is at the boundary, it means they are low caste people. So this is what one example she is telling, that my brother, when that landlord man, he could not recognize him, that person asked his name, my brother told the name. Even then he was not able to get that who my brother is, and that's why he asked, where do you live? Because from this my address only he was able to get to know that we are Dalits. So this is how people behaved in those days. The point of this was that if he knew on which street we lived, he would know our caste too. Anand told me all these things, and he added, because we are born into this community, we are never given any honor or dignity or respect. We are stripped of all that. So this is what was happening in those days. But then he told, but if we study and make progress, we can throw away these indignities. And then brother told this thing also, that it's not impossible that you can come to the level of these people. This is very much possible. And this possibility is only through studies. He said that if you study well, then you can come to their level. So study with care, learn all you can. If you're always ahead in your lessons, people will come to you of their own accord. Naturally, people will come to you, means people will become your friends. Then you will not be untouchable if you study hard, and if you are also, if you want to come in the mainstream, okay, then you should study hard. So work hard and learn. The words that Anand spoke to me that day made a very deep impression on me, and I studied hard with all my breath and being, in a frenzy almost. And as Anand had urged, I stood first in my class, and because of that, many people became my friends. So this was true, and we can say that yes, it was ultimately true, because of her studies only she became a university teacher, and she was always there to become the voice of all these Dalits and all the marginalized people. So this second part is also over. Now your job is to watch this video and learn each and everything thoroughly, because for this time exam, this chapter is really very, very important. Thank you.